voted for Trump, we trust him with the word that he promised us Latinos. This is crazy that starting next week, multiple cities will be hitting immigration. That is so crazy that multiple people are scared to go to work. Where I work at, a lot of Latinos did not go to work, and that's crazy because we have a living too. I hate that I voted for him. Now I'm so scared for my family and y'all family. Y'all, we need to come together and do something about this.
Why is nobody else protesting with us? We're not the only immigrants.
You know why. Don't be disingenuous. You know why. If you're confused, maybe you have some memory issues, go back and read the statistics on how people voted in November. And then find non-social media, maybe Reuters, maybe AP, news articles, and review the campaign from last year. The country voted for this. Those of us who didn't, we got the message. So we are going to sit back and let the country get what it asked for. The time to hoop and holler and to make our voice heard was November. A voice was heard.
For my husband, I'm like, are you sure you want to vote Republican? And he's saying he's going to deport criminals. You're not a criminal. Every time we go to ICE, they tell you, Mr. Juarez, your wife is no criminal. He voted for him, and now he's deporting his wife.
And now they deported me, they kicking me out, and they breaking my family apart. Before you enlist in the military, think it twice. Before you marry an immigrant, think it twice. Think it if it's really worth for you to sell this country.
I just saw a protest or whatever going on in Florida, I think it was Miami, of people that voted for this administration mad that they aren't playing fair, that they're doing illegal things, and that they're taking away people. I don't know the specifics of the situation, but I'm pretty sure, somebody may have gotten deported. This is my thing. You thought that the racism wouldn't apply to you? You thought that it's like, I think everybody, I don't know if we needed this shift right now to really just wake people up to the fact that if it's going to affect your neighbor, and it may not necessarily affect you now, it most likely will in the future. Now, what made you think that these people would play fair when you voted against your best interests to people who were doing illegal things, are doing illegal things now? Like, what made you think that they were gonna play fair with immigration and just send home the criminals? I'm confused here. Like, we really are going through this because of people that did not want to use their brain to their full capacity. Because what really made you think that you wouldn't be affected or that your loved ones wouldn't be affected when these people are not playing fair or legally since the beginning? Like, y'all really that racist to cloud your judgment like that. It's crazy. And now we're having to go through this. And now I'm seeing this BS on my stuff, on my timelines, whatever. We're all going through this. We're all living through this economically, and we're all having to see this racism. And it is so traumatic for us that, didn't have a part in it. So we're all having to go through this because some people were so selfish and so racist, and again, they let that cloud their vote. They let it cloud everything. And I still don't think they fully get it, a lot of people. It's just really sad. Just some sad times. Ugh.
The Latinos that voted for Trump because of the economy. I'm sorry, I tried. How's it going? ¿Cómo les va? Hold on. Like, seriously, have you made more money?
So we have more information on one of the people who was picked up during the immigration raids in Bakersfield. This guy's a U.S. citizen and was almost charged with smuggling.
44-year-old and father of 4, Ernesto Campos has lived in the U.S. for 30 years and became a citizen over a decade ago. He was driving to work when an unmarked car turned its patrol lights on. Campos says he stopped, turned off his car, and gave agents his driver license. But when he wouldn't give them his car keys, they slashed his tires. Campos tells his co-worker, Isaías Alejandro, to roll down the window a little, which he does.
You're gonna have to break your window, do you understand? That's your fault. You have to break the window if you do not open it.
The agent then demands the door be opened and the passenger, Alejandro, to step out of the car to be detained.
He's in the process of immigration. You have a lawyer and
Then Campos was detained.
you're under arrest for alien smuggling. Actual federal felony. Look, I'm gonna tell you, if you resist, we will have a fight. Is that what you want?
Campos tries to explain Alejandro has an ongoing immigration case.
The agents really did slash his tires because he refused to give the keys. Ernesto Campo, a U.S. citizen, was held for 4 hours until they were able to prove his citizenship. Again, to anyone who's still thinking, well, I'm a U.S. citizen, I'm going to be okay. No, you're not. They're racially profiling people. They do not care if you're a U.S. citizen or not. All they care about is going after people who look Latino. And this is also being done by fellow people of color. This is why we're saying not all skin folk are kinfolk. How are we going to be able to fight white supremacy when we have so many people in our community who align themselves with white supremacy thinking they're going to be safe? When they're done coming after all the immigrants, who do you think they're going to come after next? Who do you think they're denaturalizing next? While Ernesto was able to get out, this has seriously affected his business because now his fellow employees are not showing up to work. This is horrible. You have migrants who are just going to work being picked up, U.S. citizens being picked up, all being done by fellow people of color. I've been on this app fighting about white supremacy and how we all need to stop trying to get closer to white supremacy. And people thought I was crazy. And now look how white supremacy has gotten us to turn on each other. And look what's happening to our community. And unless we learn to step away from white supremacy, we're only going to keep hurting each other until there's none of us left.
Hello and welcome to another video. Please stay towards the end and don't forget to give it a like, comment and subscribe. It really helps my channel to grow and it helps other people to find my content and my video. And in the end of the video, I'm gonna give you my opinion as a Latino, as a Latina, the Latinos for Trump. It's just incredible.
Let's talk about these two crazy chickens right here. Esto va a ser bueno. This is gonna be a good one. Y se jodieron los dos. I'm gonna make fun of both of them. Don't you think that she's gonna be safe from this? Because she dated a Trump supporter. So I really, no me da lástima, pero me da poquito. These two people exist. I'm gonna tell you their names. This guy is like, let's go Brandon. And the other one is La Chimiturfia. I don't care about any of them. It doesn't matter, but I promise you that this story is real. He is now regretting that he voted for Trump and she is suffering in some fucking detention center. Mira, mija, listen. Esto te pasa a ti por estar dating a Trump supporter, so I don't care. I don't have any fucking sympathy for you. You landed on this goddamn problem yourself because the guy that you love is supporting these policies, so that's on you as well. You should fucking know better. And the other guy, the Trump supporter, well, this is like, se enamoran de Latina, te gustan las Latinas, you like Latinas, but then you vote against Latinas being in the United States. Legally. No, this is because that's how it is with you Republicans. You don't give a shit about anything until it affects you. Ahora, mira, Fafo. Coge la arepita, take the arepa. Dame la arepa. See you when I see you. Que te da buen día.
Like so many other Venezuelans, she cheered when Donald Trump was elected.
Sí, yo creo que...
Yes. I believe there is a large community of Venezuelans who did.
What she didn't expect is for those policies to throw her life in limbo. Carol is one of hundreds of thousands of Venezuelan immigrants who were granted temporary protected status, or TPS, under the Biden administration. President Trump wiped that away for all Venezuelans. Were you surprised?
Sí, totalmente.
Yes, totally. Practically the same day he took office, he went against Venezuelans.
I don't even know what to think anymore. This has got to be the dumbest group of people known to mankind. When somebody has been telling you the same shit for the past 3 years, what do you think is going to happen differently? You think he was joking around? You think it was just like telling you these things for kicks? No. They literally have it in Project 2025, their fucking platform for the entire party. The GOP has this in writing. Te lo están diciendo, jodida estúpida. Que ustedes son más brutos que gritar bomba en un aeropuerto. Jesus fucking H. Christ. Some of you are like, were dropped in the head when you were children. Cuando eran niños, mano. Fuck around and find out, baby. Que tengan buen día. Ay, 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 por Dios. Yo voy a votar por Donald Trump. Que tostón. Are you ready to absorb this shit? Because it's crazy. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen. When you think about it, I'm going to describe it to you so you can understand how bad this is. Because with Latinos for Trump at this point is one of the two. It's either weaponized incompetence because you simply didn't see what you needed to see, or you choose to not hear what you needed to hear. Or number two, and this one's probably the worst one, you are very fucking dumb. Now, they have a bunch of bans. Donald Trump basically restricted a bunch over 30 countries to come to the United States. But two specifically came to my attention and are probably the best ones. And that would be Venezuela and Cuba. Because those are the two countries that basically voted the most for Trump. Cubans voted at a higher rate than anybody else. I believe the number was 75 to 76% of them voted for Trump. But now, those people are not going to be able to see friends, family, loved ones, whatever. Basically, anybody who lives in the United States that's Cuban and it's in the United States legally is not going to be able to see those family members from Cuba. Same thing goes from the people from Venezuela. And it makes you think, when these people were voting, what did they expect? He's telling them what they need to hear. So again, either they didn't fucking know because they're incredibly dumb, or they fucking knew and they didn't give a rat's ass about any of their loved ones. They just said, fuck it, let them figure it out. We don't want them here. Bro, no matter how you slice it, this is one of the worst fucking things I've ever seen in my entire life. And you know what the worst part is about all this is us Puerto Ricans. Because we're nowhere near that list, right? Puerto Ricans are not banned. But I bet you there was a lot of fucking Puerto Ricans that are for Trump telling other immigrants, hey, go vote for him, you'll be fine. Yeah, now the Puerto Ricans are the only ones who are not touched, and they're looking at fucking everybody else like, damn, dude, that fucking sucks, you know, but my people can still come here. It's really fucking sinister how Puerto Ricans who are not affected by this probably had this conversation with other Latino Trumpers. ¿Qué clase de foltrop? At any rate, congratulations, Cubans and people from Venezuela. You shot yourself in the fucking foot. Really goddamn smart. Yo voy a votar por Donald Trump. Que tenga buen día.
Well, he signed it. Donald Trump signed it. Now they're not going to need to go through the legal process of getting you to see an immigration judge. They can just deport you on the spot. So if you've been here for 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, you don't have a criminal record, they can still deport you. You're in the process, or heck, you even have already residency and or citizenship. If you get caught and you don't have documents, you're screwed. We told you, baby. We told you. So, if you are a person with brown skin, you have a thick accent, you look Latino, you look like an immigrant, you don't look like them, and they stop you, and you don't happen to have your documents with you to prove that you're here legally, we told you. So now you get to live your life having to be extra careful every single day. Probably scared that one of these days you'll forget your documents. F-A-F-O. Fuck around and find out. We told you. It's not about whether or not you're a criminal. If you are an immigrant, if you are Latino, Latina, okay, if you are
not from this country or your family were not from this country, you don't belong to them. It's not just some, they want to get rid of everybody. They're going to start little by little, but they're going to do it all. Even you. We told you. We told you. And the innocent people who didn't want this now have to pay for it. However, keep in mind, you asked for this. You asked for this.
You guys hear about that dumbass white man from Wisconsin whose wife is in a detention center right now and going to be deported? Yeah, this dude from Wisconsin decided to vote for Donald Trump, even though he has a Peruvian wife who overstayed her visa and is technically here illegally. He thought his white privilege was going to get her through and past the finish line. He thought that she wasn't going to be affected by any of this, and he wasn't going to be affected because he's white and his wife has a W-2 and pays taxes. But that's not enough, because after they got back from their honeymoon from Puerto Rico, she was detained for overstaying her visa and being here illegally. Well, that sounds like what Donald Trump was going to go after was illegal, undocumented migrants, not just the criminals. And I guess this guy thought because he was white from Wisconsin and was a good upstanding citizen that they were just going to go after everybody else and leave his family alone. Well, that's not how it works. That's a complete and utter FO. And so many people are finding this out. Whether they voted for Trump and now they are being deported, or their spouse is being deported, or Donald Trump is not showing up to help them for natural disasters, or anything and everything else in between, Donald Trump is pulling the rug out on these people. And they want to act like, oh, I didn't know when I was fired from my job. I didn't think he was going to do all this horrible stuff. I had no way of knowing. Yes, you did. You just didn't want to listen. We told you on repeat what was going to happen. And now this man is so upset and his wife is in horrible conditions. I'm sure she is. But what do you want us to do? We don't care. We can't care anymore. You didn't care about anybody else because you thought you were going to be okay and you were going to be able to escape all of this persecution and everybody else was going to take the fall for it. So this is completely on you. You have no one to blame but yourself. And this unfortunate situation is all on your shoulders. But maybe you can write a letter to Donald Trump and plead your case. See if he's listening.
Executive order. And they will enact the 1798 Aliens Enemies Act.
I made that video in November of 2024, right after the election, because people were asking, how is he going to enact the largest deportation this country has ever seen? And I said he was going to enact the 1798 Alien Enemies Act, even though we're not in wartime. And when I made that video, I was truly, truly hoping that I was just throwing it out there, that it wasn't actually going to happen. But it's happened. This weekend, DJT enacted 1798 Alien Enemies Act. And what it does, it's supposed to be enacted during wartime if we're being invaded or if a country has sent their folks into our country and we need to get them out. I warned in my video that the reason why he keeps calling it an invasion when he talks about immigration was because it was laying the groundwork for him enacting the 1798 Alien Enemies Act. This weekend, a judge ruled that he could not send the 250 plus immigrants that he was trying to send to El Salvador maximum security prison. A prison, by the way, that has broken hundreds of human rights laws that have been placed by the United Nations. A prison that holds some of the most dangerous people in El Salvador. The judge literally asked, who are these people that you're sending to this prison? How do you know that they're gang members? And he was refused the answers because there's no proof that they were actually gang members. The only proof was that they came from Venezuela. That was the proof. And last time I checked, we're not at war with Venezuela. We're not. Why does this matter? Because now every person that looks like me, every young boy that looks like me, now has to have a conversation with their families. Their parents have to have a conversation with them about what could happen if they're detained. The 1798 Alien Enemies Act, it waives due process. So anyone detained because they're deemed an enemy, they don't go to court. They don't have due process. They automatically get sent wherever they're sending people. The last time it was used was during the Japanese internment camp. Before that, it was used during the Red Scare and the Lavender Scare. Before that, it was used to round up enslaved people that had ran away, so they could give them back to... I'm sorry that I'm getting emotional, but I just keep thinking of all the Latinos that voted for this man, that voted against their own interests. And we were trying to tell you. We have been trying to tell you. And it's happening. In that video, I also said that the next step was going to be enacting a national emergency so he can use the military to round up people. I hope to God that I'm wrong, but I wasn't wrong about this. Wake the fuck up, y'all. Wake the fuck up. This is not normal.
I want you to pay particularly close attention to this latest comment by Trump attorney Alina Habba.
Yeah, and actually one of my focuses of my portfolio is human extortion, human trafficking, and labor and cyber and finance extortion that has happened because of these individuals bringing minors, bringing women, bringing individuals over the border and then seeing them get tortured. And the facts that she mentioned, those are just public ones. I assure you what I've been briefed on is so severely disturbing that if America knew just 10% of it, they would be happy to have these individuals out. They are a danger to our society, and they have no business being in this country.
Quote, actually one of the focuses of my portfolio is human extortion, human trafficking, which I found pretty interesting as far as a quote is concerned, because she works for an administration that just weeks ago worked to secure the release of Andrew Tate, who was literally charged with rape and human trafficking in Romania. Of course, if you're wondering why, well, that's because Andrew Tate is an outspoken Trump supporter. In other words, Habba is very against trafficking, unless the trafficker in question voted for her boss. And hey, don't take my word for it, take hers.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm a big fan.
Well, nice to meet you. I'm a fan. You're the one saving Trump. You're doing more important work than me.
America, not just Trump. And I agree with everything you just said. And I think that your anger is the same that President Trump has for our country, and the time is now for us to stop being wimps. I think that's exactly the right sentiment. And I also have to say that I sympathize with you, because I think you go through a lot of the same show me the person, I'll find the crime that President Trump has gone through. And
I'm a big fan, says Alina Habba, who cosplays as a champion against human trafficking, of Andrew Tate, a charged human trafficker, just in case you needed it laid out very, very clearly.
My Latinos for Trump, public apology here. I'm so sorry. I guess it's been a crazy week. I hope you guys aren't feeling forgotten. We haven't forgotten about you guys. We care. There's a lot of resources about how to avoid being detained and things like that, and no one's really talking to you, so here I come. So here are some pointers about how to not get detained if, ICE shows up at your doorstep. For one, do not open the door for them. They cannot legally enter your home without a warrant. And so I'm sorry. I should have explained in the beginning of the video. Yeah, they're coming for you too. Papa, I've seen some of you guys try and repost some tips for your family members already. Yeah, the nopal you got there, yeah, that red hat ain't gonna save you. Yeah, they see brown skin, and that's who they're stopping. You know that thing he said he was gonna do, mass deportations, only criminals? He really meant brown skin. So you should carry your papers with you at this point. Like, try and tape it to your forehead or something. They're still gonna stop you. Yeah, it's really happening. I know.
They took my wife.
This man who wished not to be identified says his wife is from Venezuela and has lived in the United States for a few years. She was one of 3 people taken from this home. I'm told the 2 others were men who worked in construction. You see them here. This video, only 1 minute and 52 seconds long, we do not see his wife being removed from the home. But this is a picture of her that he keeps in his wallet. Her name is Vianis Ramirez, and he says she was in the process of becoming a United States citizen.
She already had a court date. She was good. Everything's good. He just came in and snatched her.
These are pictures from the Department of Homeland Security detaining other undocumented men and women in Broward County.
It's despicable what they're doing right now. It's very embarrassing.
President Donald Trump arrived at his Trump National Golf Resort in Doral Saturday, set to host GOP leaders for a conference. This man hopes this message makes it to him.
If I get a chance to talk to you, man, yo, please, man, let's work something out. So you, man, let me keep my wife here in the United States, man. She deserves to be here, man.
ICE reports nearly 1.
Who else is laughing at the Cubans? Who else is laughing at them? Laugh with me, okay? Because they thought they were better than other Latinos, and now they're getting their just desserts. Karma's a bitch, and she's bringing ICE with her to deport your asses.
And to the Latino men who voted for Trump, I hope you guys know that when the Japanese internment camps happened in the 40s, it didn't matter if you were legally born here, if you knew perfect English, if you had businesses or whatever. They still put you in those internment camps because you looked like the bad guy. You looked like you were illegal. So I could be put in those camps. It doesn't matter. They don't care if you have a CDL, if you have your own business, if you know perfect English, if you were born here. They don't give a fuck. You're brown to them. Trump doesn't like you, and your dumbass just voted for them. And what's worse of all is that we all fucking know who runs Latino households. It's the women. The men bring some money in, and they think they're in charge, but everyone fucking knows that it's the women, and it's always been the women that run those households. But we couldn't run the country. Come on, Latino men, you fucking let us down.
And I vote for Mr. Trump. We vote for Mr. Trump. Yes, Mr. Trump. We love you. We love you. All the way to the White House.
I'm calling ice on you. I'm calling ice on you.
Almost 50,000 Cubans from the Miami area in Florida are facing deportations.
I will vote for Donald Trump. I will vote.
Raise your hands, come on.
For Donald Trump.
Yes, and a lot of Latinos voted for Trump. And part of that had to be with the economy. Part of that, they voted for Trump had to be with the open border situation too. And a lot of that had to be with the racism too. All of that influence in the voting for Trump, or now, sure, they are paying it. They forgot that they have brown skin. They forgot about that. And Trump is making sure that they remind them, yes, you have a brown skin too, and it doesn't matter if you voted for me or no, okay? You're still gonna pay the consequences of it. With the situation of Venezuelans getting deported to El Salvador, and some of them going to jail without a due process, so they don't know if they even are criminals. They don't know for sure. They're just associating everybody as a criminal. And some of them, I imagine the majority of them, they don't even have a criminal record in this country or even in Venezuela. They just decided to do that because that's the Trump's policy. He wants to terrorize people. And we don't know for sure if the people that is going there, they are They are criminals. We just don't know because they didn't have the right to a due process. And that is just terrible. That is terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible because it's just a human right violation. You cannot just put people in jail because you feel like it. And also think Salvador doing this is something that is just atrocious. Yes, the Salvador president is known for being really tough in crime. And I bet Salvadorian people appreciate all the cleanup that he did in his country. I think that's great. But the point that he just take these people that they don't even know if the due process was done in there. I mean, those people, I think it's just terrible. It's just terrible. It's a violation of human rights, but it's just terrible. And also, we just don't even know if they are like even Venezuelans. We don't even know if they are... It's just so much. We don't even know if they are maybe American citizens in there. We don't even know because we don't even know who they took over there to those jail. And it seems like that jail that they took them is one of the worst jails in Central America. It's just like the human violation, the human right violation that we are living under the Trump presidency is scary. Because, they say, they was coming for my neighbor and I didn't say anything. They was coming for the people that I know and I didn't say anything until they came for me. So it's just terrible, okay? Please don't forget giving a like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps my channel to grow and it helps other people to find my content and my video. Thank you.